Shout out to all of you who are still here. Today we got a certified Christian nationalist. Proud Christian nationalist. A Southern Christian nationalist, as you will be able to tell from his accent. And his name is The Max. The Max. The Max Return. The Max and Cheese. The Mac Double. What is he macking about? Apparently he's macking about this being the end of us. Who is us? Is it the end of the double, triple Mac? I don't think they serve triple Macs anymore, but who's us? We can't do this. Who's we? Who is we? Who? I mean, excuse me. I'm speaking in box on my bad. You know, get off this video. Who are we? Who are we? There you go. There we go. All right, so let's get to this guy. Whatever he's talking about.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I believe it's the end. And I don't mean that. I just believe there's dark days ahead for the conservative Christian movement, the Republican movement. Because I believe us as Christian conservatives, especially like the Bible Belt Christians and the ones who vote Republican, I don't think we really have a party anymore. Now, do I believe Trump is doing a great job? I actually do. But boy, after watching like the Tucker and Nick Fuentes interview, I actually lose hope. Because if this is the face of our party, where all they did instead of actually going after the left, they went after the right, listen to some of these things. I'm going to tell you what they say.
Oh, how dare you not go after the left? You know what? Hey, look, I watch my sports teams. I watch my football teams. I watch my basketball team, or baseball teams. I'm not sure if he's a basketball guy. It's too urban. But yeah, my baseball teams, I expect them to go after the opposing team. Hey, I was riding with the right. My pappy and my grandpappy were riding with the right. My great-grandpappy riding with the right when they were Democrat rights. We switched. But yeah, they did not go after the left. They just went after each other. God damn it, Dale.
It's unbelievable. And what Candace says.
What Candace says?
How?
That swirl, that damn swirl. She's fine though. Hey, look, I had a Candace Owens too back in my day. Back in my day.
We're seeing the true dismantling of all we've believed in with true conservatism.
I
believe we're seeing a Republican Party be America first, but we're seeing more of a libertarian view, a Christless view, and a...
Hold on. You just said, not even a minute ago, that the right was going after the right. The right was going after itself. What did you just do? Go after the libertarians who are supposed to be more to the right, more than they are to the left, right? Oh wait, but them damn libertarians, them Christ-like libertarians, they ain't Christian. They're godless. They're pagans. They believe in Odinism in them. Odinism. There we go. They believe in they believe that gays should be able to hold hands, and that interracial orgies are okay, and we should be able to smoke weed every day. They're godless, I tell you.
Centrist view more than we're actually seeing true conservative.
Oh my God, the worst thing that you can be to an extremist, whether on the right or the left, is a centrist. These rightists would rather deal with leftists because they know how to deal with leftists. It's basically like one sports team dealing with fans from another team. And so, especially when you're drunk, it's like, yeah, we get the recursion, all dots go out the window. That inner caveman, or not even just keep the whites. This happens to all people. So this inner caveman that comes in all forms, or this inner tribal man, because all the pro-wacks talk about those. We tribal people. All right, well that tribal chucker crap comes out, and then all of a sudden it's like war. Seriously, but when you deal with a centrist who can actually argue talking points better, when you deal with a moderate who has a more nuanced version of the world, hell, and he's probably pissed off because libertarians fit into the more moderate centrist view of point where they can argue some things on the right and some things on the left, and it just shatters this real field because it's not team red versus team blue anymore. It's we got their party. Oh no, head explode.
I believe there's dark days ahead. I really do. And today we're going to talk about this. Makes me want to be more independent, more prepping oriented, and actually say, you know what, I'm done.
I thought you said How about you that being independent and centrist wrong, sir?
I'm done.
Or is he done with the rightist videos? You know, I want to be more of a prepper because that gets me more. That's a safe way to get more views without dealing with the BS, because the right's going after itself and we can't have that. We gotta focus on team. We're team red, damn it. Whether it's actually team blue outside of the U.S., but that's a whole other subject for another day. But yeah. We gotta know our enemies. We gotta know what time it is.
Because you almost have to be. Wait to hear some of these things. And then we're also going to talk about the food stamp thing. You're going to realize that the people that's paying for food stamps are not actually getting the recipients of it. You're going to be blown away at who actually is getting the recipients of it. Mostly everyone that's accepting the food stamps are either not born here or have no affiliation here or not assimilated here, but then we pay for them to be here.
Yes, because the majority of food stamp recipients, the majority are white ones, and they are the majority of food stamp recipients, sir. Most of them aren't born here. No, let me guess, it's the white Latinos who are getting all the food stamps. But they're still white.
Makes no sense. Wait till you hear this story. And then lastly, we're going to talk about Congress. I hate talking about Congress, but a lot of the problems we have is based on them. We're going to talk about Republicans and Democrats and how, for some reason, they seem like they have the answer. And actually, both of them are wrong, and they're leading us completely into a dire hole in America. Today's video may be a rant. I'm sorry. Let's dive in. It never really lets us down to a point where we love each other, we work together. It's our family structure. That's why I've been nailing my children to a point of saying, look, following Christ, having a good basis, understanding sustainability and independence, not what I would say a Christian libertarian would look at too. Oh. It's not true. Now let's go to Candace. Candace now has come out and said that TPUSA is open borders. What a lot of the freedom and liberty pushes for is, they can just burn a flag. They've worked handily against that. So it shows the libertarians are probably not as much conservative. Few little things. Have you noticed Thomas Massey, Rand Paul? Again, people that I wholeheartedly supported the last probably 10, 15 years. What I've realized is when they were complaining about the party in charge, they're really complaining about the establishment and mostly Democrats because Democrats were in charge. Now that Republicans are in charge, instead of working with them to make things better, they've actually voted more against the Trump administration and pushing first what Trump is trying to do. They've worked handily against that. So it shows the libertarians are probably not as much conservative as we were hoping. I think we're seeing them more just straight up for freedom and liberty. What freedom and liberty?
Oh, wait. They're for freedom and liberty? I thought the conservatives were for freedom and liberty. But let's see what this guy has to say about that.
Liberty is, though, what you don't realize is open borders. What a lot of the freedom and liberty pushes for is, they can just burn a flag if they want to. What freedom and liberty typically says is, we can allow them to have any religion, and even if they hate America, they can still be here. See, that's not what conservatism is.
Oh, wait. So conservatism isn't free and doesn't have liberty. You're being honest. I'll give him that.
That's not what traditional values is. That's actually truly not what I would say a Christian libertarian would look at, too.
And what are traditional values, sir? Sir, what are traditional values? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I want you and your ilk in the comment section to describe what our traditional American conservative values are, sir.
It's not true. Now let's go to Candace. Candace now has come out and said that TPUSA, along with Erica, has basically had an LBJ moment. Basically what she is stating is that Trump, Erica, along with TPUSA, is actually what did this to Charlie. She's bringing up LBJ references in retrospect to what we found out about Kennedy's situation and tragedy back in the 60s. What we're realizing is Candace is working wholeheartedly against. She's acting like she is the only friend of Charlie. And sadly, what that's doing is ruining his movement, ruining TPUSA's movement, because now it's shedding doubt to that. And then we have Tucker and Nick. Last night.
Them boys. And speaking of Candace, after she was not invited so much as to stand outside of the stadium where Charlie Kirk's memorial service was held, the funeral memorial, it was basically like a freaking Pope had died, because one, it was 8 hours, literally 8 hours. Two, it was on a Sunday. Now, no offense, I was tuning in on my phone, but what was I watching on the bigger screen TVs? 7 hours of commercial-free, well, they don't have commercial-free football anymore because, ESPN ruins everything, but 7 hours of red zone football were more important to me than the service. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry that offends Charlie Kirk fans. But it's a Sunday, guys. Let's wrap it up. We got football. We got football to watch. Can you put the memorial service on the Tuesday when nothing's on?
Just a few things.
But yeah, Candace Owens, she was not invited to the memorial service. Shouldn't that have been a clue right there, just to let it go, let it go? And I'm not singing the rest of that song, but yeah, I get it. Candace Owens and Charlie Luther Kirk. Sorry about that, Charlie Luther Kirk. They were singing together in a car, and they were basically looking like a couple. And I know Candace Owens misses those days where she had that white McLovin. I'm not saying, but I mean the way she's acting right now, you would have thought, you would think that something happened between the two of them, and she was just enamored. I mean, damn. When the mistress loves the husband more than the wife.
Nick openly came out and said that he is going against the conservative movement. He is going against everything conservatism. From Matt Walsh to Ben Shapiro to Michael Knowles. He's going against
all the big daddies. All the big daddies he is about to roast. And I am here for it, man. I am absolutely here for it. Hey, look. Mr. Light-Skinned Supremacy, had to take off these glasses to watch. To watch all this unfold. I was promised this inner right war 3,000 years ago. Mr. Light-Skinned... Whatever. What jokes am I with? Hey, look. I stopped the Latinas nations to watch this. Because this is going to cook. This is going to roast. This shit will be smoking. I am here for the inter-alt-right wars. And this is the inter-alt-right wars because guess what? The moderate right versus alt-right, yeah, the alt-right won against the moderate right because, the moderate right was like, well, we don't hate blacks, but we don't really need them neither. But the alt-right was like, no, BBC, no, we don't need, no, we don't need F them. And they did say, F the black conservatives. And Mr. Fuentes, a few months ago, I caught that too. He cooked the black conservatives. I know he just went after, what's his name? Jason, the failed commentator from Fox, and Jason. He's irrelevant. Anyway, we all know the guy he's talking about, the black guy who was like, what we need more is a God's nation. And you need Jesus. And you like Jesus. And anyway, Nick Fuentes, I gotta give him credits to. He smoked black conservatives, he smoked them. But now seems like he has a new challenger. Seems like he's going against the actual conservatives, the ones. Remember in Mortal Kombat, and I know I'm ranting here, but in Mortal Kombat you had like the old Mortal Kombat. I'm not sure if they do this anymore, but you had like the tower. So he defeated probably the moderate tower of black conservatives, and now he's going after the big tower with all the big daddy conservatives that this guy is crying about. He's like, why are you going after Matt Walsh? Why are you going after freaking Ben Shapiro on that? What? Why are you going after them? They're my dad.
Free conservative movement. Now, you may not like some of those people. Like, I'm not a Dave Rubin fan. I don't believe he's truly a conservative. There's a lot of people on the conservative side that I quote-unquote wouldn't believe is conservative.
Who's Dave Rubin?
Which Nick would be one of them. He would definitely fit more on the populist libertarian style, such as...
Hold on. Populism and libertarianism are not the same thing. And I know I had to clap my hands like a daggle to do that. And I apologize to anyone who was triggered. But populism and libertarianism are not the same thing. Those are two completely different things. Populism, let's just be honest. Populism is fiscally liberal, socially conservative, usually. It's basically socialism for Mark Rubin them, which in his case would be, Christian Nationalists, which is mostly the disingenuous ethno-nationalists. A lot of them, they're ethno-nationalists in everything but name officially. But these populists, which this guy would be more, well, we're fiscally liberal, or we're just fiscally, if they are fiscally conservative, they're just doing that for because they don't want other people, other ethnic minorities or other groups, outgroups, others, to get any sort of socialism. But if they were to have an ethno-state, these would be the first individuals to have all sorts of socialist goodies. I mean, look at Poland, look at Hungary. I think that's what they really want. And trust me, Poland and Hungary have no short of socialism when it comes to handouts, just like the rest of Europe. And I'm not calling Poland and Hungary ethno-states. Trust me, I've been in both countries, and surprisingly, were not the most racist places. I've been to worse places than those two. So sorry to bust the bubble of like the disingenuous alt-righters or disingenuous ethno-nationalists like this guy, and the more true ethno-nationalists like Nick Fuentes. But yeah, libertarians, on the other hand, are fiscally conservative throughout the board. I mean, no soup for you, like soup Nazi kind of, hey, no soup for you kind of individuals. You got to earn it through the mud, get it out the mud, but they're socially liberal. If a guy wants to hold a guy's hands, that's fine. If they want to stand like this and have a lisp, that's fine. That's fine. If a girl wants to hold a girl's hands, and that's really fine. Yay. Yay, girl on girl action. There you go. We support girl on girl action any day of the week here. If a Becky wants to taste BBC, or if a Maria or a Mei-Ling, they want to try BBC or BBC, the other BBC, brown dudes, you know, the Rico Suaves, the Enriques, the Prince Habib from Dubai or Qatar, any one of those guys, or Bollywood, Dinesh, all those guys, have fun. It's not our problem. All we want is low taxes. We want Second Amendment, mainly to protect ourselves from these ethno-nationalists. That's all we want in the libertarian side. So libertarians are basically fiscally conservative, socially liberal. So there's your difference.
Thomas Massey and Rand Paul. Now, there's things that they bring up that are very wise and very good. There's things that Nick has brought up that's very wise and very good. But let's just talk about a few things he said. Talked about Stalin yesterday and how wasn't that bad. Talked about Germany and Hitler, and really didn't disparage them like he disparaged Ted Cruz, Mike Huckabee, and Ben Shapiro. Tucker has said in many times that he supports things like Qatar and how they're big allies of ours, not Israel. And he talked about how all this conservative movement, how he despises Christian Zionism. People like Mike Huckabee, people like Ted Cruz. Again, help me understand how that helps our party. Last night, what they could have done is work together and said, you know what, even though we don't really get along on everything, even though we don't really get along with even some of the Republicans, even though we don't get along with the rhinos, even though we don't get along with every aspect of conservative movements, Christian movement, things like that, why don't we talk about the dangers of Zohar Mandani? Why don't we talk about the dangers of this leftist ideology? Why don't we talk about the dangers of the EBT crisis and how government wants to give you more? Why don't we
why we play left-right? Instead of actually going after ideologues within the party, why don't we, instead of having dialogues of making sure that we're on the right track and that we are consistent in something other than hating the BBC, because, I mean, the right's consistent in that, let's just be honest, particularly the far right. Instead of having debates on checking individuals who are against the interests of the United States and are basically blackmailing us to do their own dirty work, let's play left versus right football. Let's play sports. We gotta play the sports. Hey, we gotta go after Zohar Mandani then. What does Zohar do this day? Zohar Mandani, he about the making of this video. When the time this video gets up, though, he probably would have won the New York mayoral race with the way it's looking right now. But we need to go after Zohar Mandani. We need to go after Chucky Finster Schumer. Yeah. We need to go after Bernie Sanders and the Bernie Bros. Yeah. We need to go after AOC, even though I still fap. I wouldn't say I do her, but I fap her because I'm a good man. I'm a good Christian nationalist man, and I would never cheat on my wife. But if opportunity ever came around with AOC, I will convert her to the way of Christian nationalism and the BWC. Or the NWC in my case. This is medium. This is medium. I'm average. I'm an average Joe, man. But yeah. But we need to fight. We need to play sports. We need to duck politics of freaking sports. Yay, red team, right?
Talk about the dangers of the left destroying Medicare.
The left.
Instead of talking about those things, though, they chose to honestly destroy the right. After that interview last night, I watched it. I watched the rest of it this morning. But I actually got, instead of a sense of pride, like a lot of Republicans and the conservative MAGA base is applauding for this, it actually disparages me more than ever. Because what I've realized, if you truly are a conservative Christian person, in a conservative Christian family, and
conservative Christian nationalist,
want independence, and want...
Wait, is it? I thought independence was not conservative, sir. I thought liberty and freedom... Those weren't conservative values, sir. Huh? You didn't just say that?
America values and want traditional values.
Oh, traditional values.
Then they're trying to destroy that. Here's what I mean. The same people like these guys, the Twins, Dan Bilzerian, even Dave Rubin, you can throw him in there. Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson. All they're doing is destroying the Christian movement more. Now, Candace, I'll take her out of this part. But if you noticed, these same people that quote-unquote say they're conservative Christians are literally cursing just about every other word. Or when they get flustered, they'll say the F-bomb, or they'll drop some crazy antics about these other Christian people in the movement. Now, these people disparage people like Mike Huckabee just because he's the ambassador of Israel. He is the U.S. ambassador picked by Trump now. So, Nick Fuentes...
Mike Huckabee is a good man. He's a good man in Arkansas, and I know his Razorbacks suck this season, but hot now. He is a good man.
Came out against Trump. Dave Smith came out against Trump. Ian Carroll came out against Trump. So those same people that say they're part of the populist movement, the America First movement, is coming against Trump. So what they're doing is actually trying to destroy that movement.
They're going after they're going after Big Daddy. How can you go after the Big Daddy on top Mortal Kombat conservative board when you have not even faced off against Rick Rubin and them, or even Ben Shapiro in the middle? Look. Before you can get Donald Trump and under him, JD the Mean Fant, and under him, whoever. Anyway, you need, damn it, Dale. You need to follow Mortal Kombat rules, because that's how we are. We're not Street Fighter, and let them leftists do Street Fighter with all the characters around the world. That DEI characters. You had to have a token character for every country in the world. What is this? This is not DEI Street Fighter.
See, these same people are against Charlie Kirk, by the way.
And this is damn sure ain't freaking Tekken and Dead or Alive with the chicks with these out. Well, there. I need the shade, bro.
You realize that.
With jiggling effects. They got jiggling effects in Tekken and Dead or Alive. We damn sure don't have that. And, well, ASC doesn't have that neither. But I still hit, though.
One of these people that I just mentioned, when Charlie was alive, were all against him. Didn't work alongside him.
That is true.
But now they act like they're the only ones standing up for him. We're seeing the fall of the conservative movement. Now, we're seeing a Christ list and a America First movement, which has some good points. But we're actually losing the Bible Belt, the conservative Christians.
Bible Belt.
Those are a thing of the past. They're the minority of the Republican Party. And you have Trump, again, I love Trump. I think Trump is actually doing some good things. Like this situation with Argentina, the situation with Asia, and going against, all the norms and going actually and having leverage with the trades and tariffs. I think that benefits us. But sadly, back at home, we're destroying ourselves. And we're actually making room for people like Zohar Mamdani to be the leader because he's promising free stuff. And then all of a sudden you see fighting on the right. And guess what? It's going to end up haunting us.
And he's promising free stuff to people who don't look like us. They don't look like us. They ain't. What's that song by that woke ass Kendrick Lamar? They ain't like us. No, they aren't like us. They isn't like us. Damn it! Because all them free goodies going to all them immigrants and them single mothers. Look, we are suffering out here. We got rugged individuals out here because we aren't getting the free stuff ourselves.
the conservative movement into a laughingstock. And I'm so sick of it.
Oh, trust me. Conservative movement was already a laughingstock. This is just an abridged version of it.
I'm so sick of it. Just like there was a guy yesterday that was dogging out Benny Johnson because when he was telling people to get married and have kids, he was like, well, that's not the right thing. Yes, we should get married and have kids. Then he got a little really self-righteous. And he was like, but you're supposed to tell them this. It's like, you know what? See, that's the problem with the right. We can't win because we want to hold each other down because we want to be the leader of the Republican movement. Candace, instead of backing Trump, she wants to be the leader because she believes she has better views. Tucker, he wants to be relevant, so he tends to throw a stone at people like Ted Cruz. I don't even like Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz's views are just like every other politician, which we're fixing to discuss in Senate Congress, who are absolutely taking advantage of our people. But that doesn't mean that we disparage them and not disparage the Democrats, too. Last night, Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes talked more derogatory towards the right, the side that they quote-unquote represent, more than they are the left. Now, some people will say, well, Colby, what they're trying to do is cleanse the right, make it better.
And see? They're doing a self-audit of their own. I mean, look, I give a damn less what happens. I give a damn less who's the last man standing. I can give a damn less who's the Highlander. Because look, that's what this is turning into. The Highlander. There can only be one. And doggone it, Dale. he has his doggone it look. That doggone it. I should probably just stop it right here because he look, check out his stuff. We're 26 minutes into this. I think I've cooked enough. But yeah, this is a great way to pause the video and have my little commentary before we wrap this up. But yeah, look. This is kind of an individual who, if you go beyond the, we got to play this freaking political football, basketball, baseball. Well, they don't play soccer because soccer's for socialists and communist countries, according to him, because that's ungodly, right? And socialism and handouts, that's ungodly, right? But yeah, this political sport of team left versus team right, team red versus team blue, or blue versus red, I guess, in this country, because I mean, it's too much for him. It is too much. It hurts his brain of individuals like him who are just salt of the earth kind of guys. You can see his pantry. I mean, at this point, I think he's better off making videos talking about pantries and preservatives and how to make preservatives and how to be a prepper. I mean, quite frankly, he is the perfect background for a prepping channel. But instead, I guess he decided to go into Christian nationalism talk and my rights and my freedoms and my liberty, my traditions and will help with Medicare. Okay, so I help with, so all right, so yeah, this is the Mac's channel. I'll be honest, he's not even the worst guy I've seen. I just had to go in on his basically naivety and delusion because, quite frankly, more than anything else, those would be the best descriptions of this individual, more than being a Christian right-wing nationalist. I think he's just deluded and naive. And I think disillusioned. There you go. That's another adjective that I can say about this guy. More than anything else, he's disillusioned with what his party has become. And quite frankly, I blame individuals like him because anyone who decides to bring in grifters really should take a good evaluation at why they allowed to bring in such because these guys are so smart, right? On the right. And the left does this too, but since the right is in power and the right are running their mouths and showing their asses, we're going to cook the right here. So, but yeah, you would think that with all of that white knowledge, right, that Christian, conservative, traditional value knowledge, that you realize that you were dealing with a bunch of grifters and attention seekers and opportunists, right? But no, they agreed with us. They like the I like the rhetoric of getting our country back and enough is enough and we can get rid of these illegal immigrants and put these women back in the kitchen and back in the bedroom so that I can get my peen touch for once for the first time since that Obama was in office and when the damn Obama we need to reverse everything Obama did because he wasn't qualified, and I still think he was an American. Look, it just goes on and on and on with the right. The left does this too, but right now, yeah, we are seeing the right show their ass, and those who might have been like this guy who is a good conservative, a good American, a good patriot. Yeah, he allowed other individuals because he agreed with them, and that they touch his ego or appeal to his ego and touch his male parts, metaphorically. Because I don't believe he's like that, but yeah, metaphorically, because they boosted his ego and was like, oh, you proud of my hit victimhood. You pandering to my victimhood. You allow the mess. Everyone else out there always bet on X.